Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Brew or Screw It, a Commander deck building podcast. I am your host, Cody, alongside my good friend, Lazz.
Hello.
How you doing, Lazz?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Pretty good. There's a little puppy in the background. It's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
She's gone now, but...
That's Martini. She's hanging out on the couch. She wants to see what's up.
Yep. Well, hey, we're here to talk more about Magic the Gathering. But this time we're talking about a set that just came out.
Half set.
Half set?
I don't even know.
Mini set? What do they call this set?
I have no idea. I was not planning on this coming out. I was surprised when, it started to leak, and then it was like, and that's all the cards. It's like, wait, there's like 50 cards. Like, yeah, it's a 50 card set. So, I have no idea what it is or why it is.
Yeah, I think there's something they're trying out just to see how it does. But this is called March of the Machine: Aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
So this is supposed to follow up what happens in the storyline, where a bunch of planeswalkers are desparked, things like that. And so it's a mini set, and it's only 50 cards. So there's not a lot to talk about. So we kind of are doing it different. Last time we did our top 3 each. This time we're just doing a top 5 that we both agreed on.
Yeah, there's not as many cards, obviously. So besides there not being as many cards, it's kind of weird. I feel like if a set's only going to have 50 cards, I would assume that all 50 of those cards are just absolute bangers, especially like you said, they're charging $10 a pack at your LGS.
It's a standard pack price for 5 cards, and I get there's no commons and uncommons. It's all supposed to be rares and up, but some of these cards aren't the best. I mean, they're cool cards, don't get me wrong, but not all these cards are going to go in a commander deck. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I'm curious because on Card Kingdom, I wonder if you added 1 copy of every card to your cart, I think it would be cheaper than buying a box of it.
5 packs, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Even a box, because the whole there's only 2 pages. There's 50, 2 pages on Card Kingdom, and that second page is all under $1.
Yeah,
there's a lot of sub $1 cards in this set.
There's a few reprints too, and so if you exclude the reprints, it's under that. So yeah, for sure. But yeah, there are some cool cards in here, so we are going to talk about those.
Definitely are.
We have a top 5 here. Yeah,
definitely. We've separated the wheat from the chaff. No chaff over here. It's all wheat.
No chaff.
You want the wheat. Wheat's good stuff. Yeah, the chaff's the bad stuff.
I don't. This has gone places I don't know what the fuck a chaff or wheat is anymore. I will spoil a little bit. If you're listening to this in our June Deck of the Month episode, there's a card from this set that is a commander we'll be talking about. So, a little preview of what's to come.
Is there?
Yep. Yes.
Mine or yours?
Mine? For June?
Uh-oh.
Okay.
What are you doing for June?
The deck I sent you.
In the set. I thought you meant to have the 5 cards we picked. I was like,
no.
I'm I did not realize that. Okay, yes, the set does include your June commander.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
But hey, we're here to talk about our top 5, and I have number 5, which is Urborg Scavengers, 2 colorless and a black for a creature spirit. It says, whenever Urborg Scavengers enters the battlefield or attacks, you exile target card from a graveyard, and then you put a +1/+1 counter on Urborg Scavengers. And then it says, Urborg Scavengers has flying, as long as a card exiled with it has flying. The same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. It's a 2/2. I think this card is stupidly funny looking, and so that's why I picked it. But also, it is a pretty cool effect. I mean,
it's a very cool effect. It reminds me of when I tried to build the mono white, the Odric Lunar Marshal deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he wasn't really working too much, so then I tried to make a Chroma Vision of Ixidor, and that pretty much has very similar effects, except that that doesn't have to do with your graveyard. Has flying as long, that you don't have to worry about exile and stuff like that. It's just pretty much if you have a creature with flying, then creatures you control have flying and stuff like that. But this is kind of a cool card. I kind of like this, and when I read this, it made me think that it would go good in like one of the ooze decks, like with different oozes, because a lot of the oozes have the exile effects and stealing abilities and 1/1 counters and stuff like that. So I thought this card was cool. I liked this card, and the card art is creepy. You say it's cool. I think it's very creepy.
I like creepy stuff, so there you go.
I guess so.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's like just kind of a easy graveyard hate card. I'm blanking so hard. What is the mechanic for my Ikoria where you mutate? Mm-hmm. If you mutate on top of this and get to keep this effect, you could get like a big creature with all these abilities on it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about
exiling. Yeah. There's a lot of those cards in black, so definitely could do that.
It made me think of Necrotic Ooze from Double Masters. As long as Necrotic Ooze is on the battlefield, it has all activated abilities of all creature cards in all graveyards. So it's kind of the same effect, except it doesn't have to be exiled for that. So I feel like this would be fun in an Ooze deck. And maybe you want to build an Ooze deck.
Ooze decks are cool. I was looking at that mono green Ave Ooze for a little while.
Mm-hmm. That's a cool card.
The Storm one? It's a cool card, yeah. Oozes are cool. They should make more oozes.
And then we could do like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme deck, maybe. You know
what? I was just thinking. There needs to be more turtle cards. Where are the turtle cards, Wizards? Come on.
Yeah. Not enough turtles.
Not enough turtles. All right, Lazz. Enough about turtles. Tell me about your card here for number 4.
Number 4 is going to be Leyline Immersion. It is 3 colorless and a green. It's an enchantment aura. It says enchant legendary creature. Enchanted creature has ward 2 and tap, add 5 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast spells. What a cool enchantment.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very cool enchantment. It's a little expensive. That's the only problem. It's a 4-cost enchantment. But I just thought it's very cool that it gives it ward 2, which right there is something that's very helpful. But then just that activated ability to add 5 mana, any combination of colors. So it doesn't have to be only in green decks. You can put this in a 5-color deck and just enchant your creature. It gives it a little extra protection with that ward, and it just kind of helps with your mana, and it kind of mana fixes for you too, because you don't have to worry about, all right, well, this only adds Wooburg. There's a lot of cards that tap for Wooburg. This is 5 mana, any combination. You can just tap it for 5 green if you want to. But I thought this was kind of a cool card. I don't know. It doesn't go into like a Tron deck or anything like that. This... I don't really know. I don't know.
This goes in like a Joda the Unifier or the new Omnav Locus for All, where Joda, you can put it on like a 1-drop, like a Yoshimaru. Mm-hmm. Put it on there. Next turn, you're guaranteed to get Joda out. Put it in Omnath because that cares about big mana. So making 5 mana towards that is pretty good.
Yeah, and spend this mana only to cast spells. What else would you be casting with it?
I think it means mainly like you can't pump it into like an ability like a Hellkite Charger.
Yeah,
you can't get the double combo, things like that. But
I think that's it's good. The only drawbacks are the price for 4 mana, and it's a enchant legendary creature. But besides that, even with that, it's still a pretty strong card.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely think like this just kind of. I definitely think this goes in like a Legends Matter 5-color deck for sure. I think like. This is perfect for Joda Unifier. So
it doesn't even have to be a 5-color deck, though. It could be a Legends Matter, 2-3 color deck. It's just 5 mana, any combination of colors. It doesn't restrict you there. So it's funny because when this card was spoiled, I think it was you that sent it to our group chat with the people we play with, and one of the players that we play with that's fairly anti-green. He's like, oh, shocker. Green gets another good card. It's like, yeah, well, it's a very good card. But
There's a couple good green cards in the set. So.
Yeah, I'd like to see this like 1 or 2 mana cheaper, but it's still cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Next up for number 3, we have Arnie Metalbrow. This is 2 colorless and a red for a legendary creature, Human Berserker. Whenever a creature you control attacks or a creature enters the battlefield under your control attacking, you may pay 1 and a red. If you do, you may put a creature card with mana value less than that creature's mana value from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. It's a 3/3. This is just good. I think I just built a Daru and Hazoret deck. It's all about like cheating out big creatures for like 0 mana. And so having this on the field, I can just keep cheating out big creatures for 2 mana. So yeah, this definitely goes in that deck for me. I just think it's a lot of value for 3 mana.
Yeah, this reminded me of my Kaalia deck. The first deck that I built was Kaalia of the Vast, and it doesn't have the synergy with the tribes. It's not an angel, dragon, or demon, but I feel like even this would be good in that, just because whenever Kaalia attacks, creature enters tapped and attacking. And it's usually, these huge angels, dragons, demons. So, you attack with Kaalia, cheat in an Avacyn, and then if this is out there, you just pay 2 mana, and then you cheat in something else. Some crazy Hellkite or, something else that's not another big angel. And it's a very cool effect. And there are a lot of cards out there that do say, you can put a card onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. So it's kind of, again, 2 creatures out there for 2 mana. So I like this card.
This card's it's good early on when you just want to cheat out a big creature from your hand. It's very good late game when you have a lot of mana built up, so you can just keep paying 2 into it to keep emptying your hand. So
that's true. Yeah, it's whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control attacking, you may pay 2, or whenever a creature you control attacks. So if you have 10 creatures out there attacking, and you have open mana, just all right, I'm turning everything sideways. I'm paying 10 mana, and I'm bringing in 5 more creatures. It's kind of it's very cool. I like it.
I also just like that it can trigger off of itself because you keep putting the creature out there attacking. So just very good card. I think it's a little overlooked. It's only 80 cents right now on Card Kingdom. Kind of crazy.
Mono red big creatures. What are you thinking? Do mono red dragon deck.
Oh, this would be kind of good because a lot of red dragons are very expensive, but if you can get a couple small creatures out there with this on the board,
you just have to do it once, man. You just have to.
It's pretty good, yeah.
You just get the Jaya Planeswalker, whose +1 ability is add 4 mana. Add 4 red mana or something like that. Try to get something big out there. It's worth looking into, and maybe you and I were just the guys to look into this. So
make it work.
Make it work. So we'll see.
All right. Lazz, why don't you take number 2?
Okay. This is Obnixilis, Captive Kingpin. 2 colorless, black and a red for a legendary demon. It's a 4/3 that has flying, trample, and whenever 1 or more opponents each lose exactly 1 life, put a 1/1 counter on Obnixilis, Captive Kingpin. Exile the top card of your library. Till your next end step, you may play that card. I think this is a very cool commander for just a little ping deck, just a deck that's pinging everybody 1 at a time, and not these huge, those decks that are just the group slug decks that are doing 8 damage each time. This is just those little creature enters the battlefield, everybody takes damage. Creature you control dies, everybody takes a damage. It's okay, you do that, and you're just making your commander bigger and bigger. And it's got flying, it's got trample. It's very cool.
It's very good, very strong, and you get the card advantage from exile on top card. There's so many strategies you can play here, and people are already talking about how this goes infinite with All Will Be One, the card we talked about on our last deck building
What doesn't
podcast.
go infinite with All Will Be One at this? How long until that gets banned?
I'm waiting for it at this point.
I'm thinking as soon as the next set comes out, and that's not the hot new set to buy and chase cards and stuff. I think that's probably gonna be banned or something. At least in Commander, not even Commander. Everything it goes infinite and standard. It's a 2-card infinite and standard. Can't have that.
They just keep putting out more cards that synergize very well with it. But yeah, like I like the way this card works. I think it goes great with like you can put this at the helm of a Prosper deck instead of having Prosper as the commander. You got a little bit of Ultron and then just a little bit of pinging. There's a lot of cards in red that just ping for 1 damage, as we both know, because we play against a Torbrand deck. So I like it a lot.
And
very good.
Most importantly, it is awesome artwork. This is badass picture.
I was listening to music at work the other day from this guy, like his name is Caleb Young, and he did some work on the new Capenna soundtrack.
Okay.
And the song for Ob Nixilis came on. It's like Old Money or something. And I was like, this is badass. This is kind of fucking like I want to build a deck while listening to music about the character.
How do I queue up audio cues when I play my commander on spell table?
Yeah.
I need everybody to hear this.
Yeah. Very good.
All right. Last one. Let's hear it, Cody.
Number 1, we both agreed on. This is a pretty exciting card. This is Karn, Legacy Reforged. This is 5 colorless mana for a legendary artifact creature, Golem. Karn Legacy Reforged's power and toughness are equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, add colorless mana for each artifact you control. This mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. This is just very good for artifact decks.
This
like, oh my god.
Very cool. And just all artifact decks and then colorless decks too. You know, you have Eldrazi's and stuff like that aren't even, artifacts or anything, but power, grace, mana. Artifacts, non-artifact. Oh,
it wouldn't get the benefit of power and toughness, but but you could, build a deck around. The whole point is getting there's all those cards that just make little Thopters that are artifacts and make little mirrors and stuff. And so you fill a board with a bunch of artifact tokens. And on your upkeep, you get 12 colorless mana. Next thing you know, Kozilek hits the fucking board. People are scared.
You're good to go.
So you can do a little bit of artifact Eldrazi play here. And there's an Eldrazi deck coming out later this year. So I do think you could put this in a cool little artifact Eldrazi deck.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you're doing your favorite thing. You're reducing the cost or playing creatures for pretty much free, and there's some huge artifacts out there too. So you can get Karn pretty big. I'm trying to.
I mean, Portal to Phyrexia just came out last year. 9 mana, you get 7. Now you only have to pay 2 into it, really.
And now you're a 5 cost 9/9. Then, because it's power toughness. Yeah.
So you have a giant haymaker of a commander out there
for
swinging
5
for
mana.
9 damage. Pretty good, yeah.
I
think this is very good. And it's kind of cool because I'm newer to Magic, but Karn starting as a creature card, becoming a planeswalker, now back to a creature card, kind of a cool thing. And it's a pretty strong back to creature card, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'd say the only downside to this is the fact that it is completely colorless. There's not even there's not even pips or Wooburg on there or anything. So what do you? I guess you just build a deck with all wastes, for land
waste and cards that make colorless mana. So yeah,
Soul Ring, Soul Ring.
People been doing that.
Yeah, no, I know people do that. It's just it does limit it a little bit. It would be too broken if it was kind of like Kenrith or something, where it's just and here's a pip of every color on there. So that's maybe the only downside is that you are stuck with just colorless, so it kind of does limit you a lot in removal and board wipes and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because
is there any colorless board wipe? What's a colorless board wipe?
It's all will be dust or something like that. Because I looked at there was the Juggernaut card that came out in Phyrexia, all will be one. That made all creatures 5/3s. And I was like, that seems kind of strong if you get a bunch of weak little 1/1 flying tokens out there, and then they become 5/3s. That's kind of a fun commander. And I had built it on Moxfield, and I was like, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, and colorless decks are not fun, so I deleted it very quickly. But I've seen people play it to great effect, so I definitely can see people playing Karn to great effect as well. I mean, there's that Urza Battlethopter commander that came out in Brothers War. That's also pretty strong because it gives all your artifacts flash. So
Yeah, that'd be great. You pretty much have what is it? Shit. What's the card that gives everything you have flash? Orrery?
I know what you're talking about.
Something orrery.
Yeah, I can't think of what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they keep giving artifacts really good support, and now we have a little bit more colorless support. So, and like I said, I'm excited to see someone build this. As you said, you were kind of interested in it, so if you do go with it, I'm excited to see what you build.
Well, I am interested. My one concern is the fact that it is completely colorless. So I've never attempted that before. So maybe I don't know. Maybe not right away. I got like another 2 decks that I'd like to try first, but
yeah.
this is definitely on there, and this is something too. People who listen to this podcast that are probably in the same situation of, hey, I've been playing Commander for a couple of years and I've never done just a totally colorless deck. So it might be a good excuse for one of us to do that as well, to kind of see how it works. How user friendly it is, how crunchy it needs to be for you to be competitive.
Yeah, and I think with that Eldrazi Commander deck coming out later this year, gonna be more colorless support, maybe a couple more colorless removal spells and board wipes.
They're probably gonna fill that thing with colorless removal and all sorts of things. Why not? I know it's technically colorless, but it's kind of a whole other color that Wizards can tap into, and fully flesh out. So why not? I know artifact decks are probably the most popular deck on EDH Rec, but
I think so.
I don't know how many of those are full colorless though. I feel like a lot of them.
I think a lot of them have.
A lot of them
I think
have
it's
colors.
really just the Juggernaut card I talked about, and then Urza's Battlethopter, things like that. So yeah, but yeah, definitely some cool cards in this set. Tell us what you like. What cards stuck out to you from this card set? Is 50 cards a weird number? Should they have gone up to 100 or something like that? Let us know. You can reach out to us on Twitter at BrewItOrScrewIt or on email at brewitorscrewit@gmail.com. I think Lazz is doing a little research.
I am doing a research because I wanted to see what the top colorless commander is, and as of right now, the top colorless commander is Karn Legacy Reforged, and then that Juggernaut, Graz, Unstoppable Juggernaut.
It's a cool card.
It is. And you got Kozilek in there, old school Karn with the terrible art, but yeah, Kozilek. So yeah, these are. Emrakul. I've seen that, or Ulamog.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are
nice mix.
It's mixed,
artifact
but
Eldrazi.
I've never seen in a shop or played in our pod against a colorless one. So I'd be curious to see, but I don't know. Gun to my head, out of all these, I'd rather build Ob Nixilis or even Arnie Metalbrow. I think those pique my interest just a little bit more because I don't know. Right off the top of my head, I could think of things I'd like to do with it. Karn, I'd have to do some research.
That's fair. Yeah. Well, next time you hear us, we'll be talking about the card that I would build a deck with because I'm very excited for it. So, I think that's going to do it for this episode, Lazz. Got anything else you want to talk about?
I don't know. This is just a little short and sweet episode talking about cards. I know you and I this past week or so, we finally got a chance to play some of our brewed decks. Finally gotten to play some of the Jared True Air deck and the Alondra, the mono blue deck. So I figure we'll talk about that in the main feed. We'll call it the main feed,
The main feed.
The main feed.
We got to come up with a name for this little set review.
I don't know.
I've been thinking the Cauldron. Hear me? Because we're Brew or Screw. We got the Cauldron. Called the Cauldron.
The Cauldron?
Yeah.
How about let's brew it or screw it. This could be like the espresso,
Going with the coffee.
Yeah, a little coffee. You got brew. I know you can brew many a thing.
Remember beer? We the keg.
Brew beer. Got the keg. Well, it's not really a keg. This is like a crowler. It's a smaller keg.
Good point.
Good point. Oh, well, you know what?
We'll think about it.
We don't need everyone to hear our table talk here. You know, this is a very important backroom, boardroom stuff. You know, to talk about. But
all right.
Hey, thank you everybody for listening. And yeah, like Cody was saying, let us know what cards you like from the set. There's not many to pick from, so you know, as I was trying, but I'm sure I missed something on that back page of sub $1 cards. You know, I was like, oh, cool, vampires. I could throw this in Edgar. And it's like, it's not that good of a vampire. So why is it in here?
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. That's going to do it for this episode. Till next time, should we say brew it?
Or screw it.